So I'd be very interested in hearing back from you about any experiences you might have had, either working as an observer or as a poll worker, election official, or any of these other areas, because we want to learn from you and to try to help tailor a program that is right for your county. So with that, I would open it up for questions. If you all can help me field the questions, I'll try to do my best to answer.
All right, Cleta, so
Do you want me to mute while you're?
Can we cut the sound of this while I'm asking the question and then turn it back on? Thank you so much. All right, I think we're good now. No feedback, perfect. All right, sorry about that, Cleta. So our first question here is, with registrations on PO boxes and commercial residences.
We can't hear.
What? Sorry.
Speaking to the mic.
The mic is the issue.
You
So
want me to
folks,
ask?
with registrations on PO boxes and commercial residences, why does the Board of Elections approve them to begin with? Like, are you able to answer this question?
Well, you know, look, sometimes they don't know. It may not, you know, sometimes you can get a street address from a PO box. And a lot of commercial, post office box locations will actually, if you ask for it, they'll give you a street address. So it appears to be a street address, but that's why you have to take the overlay of the registration rolls. Then the Postal Service, publishes data that shows whether this particular street address is actually a residential address, single family, multifamily, or whether this particular address is a post office box or a commercial address or a vacant lot. And if it's a commercial address or a vacant lot, it can have a street address. And the election officials have no way of knowing that that it's not a residential address. And so that's why it's important to have people taking the data and then going out and confirming, is it a residential address? And, you know, one of the things we talked about was having people knock on the door and, you know, ask, you know, hi, you know, I'm working on issues or whatever, and I wanted to speak to Mrs. Smith. A lot of times you might be told Mrs. Smith doesn't live here anymore, and then if we could get an affidavit saying that, then that also gives us information. If it's a commercial address, talking to somebody, does so-and-so live here? You know, it's possible someone could live in his or her store. You know, in the olden days, people lived above their businesses. But that kind of information you only get if you are going out and looking at a particular address to try to ascertain, why did the post office say this is a PO box or a commercial address or a vacant lot? And maybe, you know, if it had been a vacant lot, but now there's the home built here. So then you know that. But there's the only way to find that out is by having people first look at the data, then identify where it is you need to go and look and see what's actually happening there. And so that's, the election officials probably wouldn't enter as an address a PO box, but it's these PO boxes that are actually, the street addresses that are not really street addresses that I'm talking about.